Max, do you prefer J-pop or K-pop?
Please, I'm more of a lo-fi cat myself.
Oh, okay. But if you had to choose between J-pop and K-pop, what would you pick? For those watching on YouTube, my name is CyberFlux. Subscribe, like the video, that'd be awesome. All right, first off, we have the video, K-pop stands are the worst by Royalty is Here. Let's get it going.
So, K-pop stands. No, not to be associated with dream stands. I don't need to know how many consecutive days you have not bathed, and that despite the SMP being over for a long time now, you're still hung up on it and writing fanfics the length of the shortest Warhammer 40k book. But K-pop stands have a bit of a weird reputation for one reason or another. It's debatable if they are worse than the aforementioned.
I want Jungkook to ruin me. I want him to... He's until I can't watch. What the fuck? Wow. Hey Max, do you know who Jungkook is?
Jungkook? Isn't he that dreamy K-pop idol all the humans swoon over?
Yes.
Not my style, personally.
Yes, bass. All right. Okay. Yeah, so that happened. Wow.
It's debatable if they are worse than the aforementioned dream stands, but I feel like that's comparing if fiberglass is better than sandpaper as an alternative to toilet paper. But little fun fact, the word stan, which is defined as an extremely or excessively enthusiastic and devoted fan.
Are any of you guys K-pop stans? Are you big K-pop stans?
And it's commonly associated with things like the K-pop fandom and fans, normally used in the context of saying you stan someone, but the word actually originates from the Eminem song Stan, which is basically about a guy called Stan that is seemingly obsessed with Eminem. The word already doesn't have the best connotations or reputation, which the same can be said for K-pop stans, but the word has been adopted by...
What? Wait, hold on.
A reputation, which the same can be said for K-pop.
I want to get pregnant. Jungkook ASMR Imagine. Oh my god, what? I like the occasional song, but no stan. Yeah, I do like some of BTS's song. I will admit, like DNA, My Universe. They've got some good bops, but yeah, overall, like, yeah. It's just their music. I don't really like anything else about them. Especially when there's fans like these that constantly talk about wanting to get pregnant and all that crap. That's a little weird. Okay.
Stands, but the word has been adopted by multiple communities. But K-pop stans from the outside looking in have the reputation of being overly parasocial, to the point where they're perceived to act like round 6 dogs just to get a shaving of pubic hair from Jungkook.
Oh my god.
And upon the spawning of a new song, brute force their favourite K-pop band to the point where they have at least 1 billion views in the first 24 hours. And at worst, there are documented events where some K-pop fans have taken things too far, which we'll be talking about later. But first, what is K-pop? Yes, you may have heard it mentioned a lot more recently with the new Netflix movie, K-pop Demon Hunters. I watched it. It actually wasn't that bad, to be honest, but I would have rather watched some of these.
Yeah, I watched that too, because I saw it everywhere on my YouTube Shorts feed. It was just everywhere, plastered everywhere. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll watch it. It was decent. I will admit it was pretty decent. You know, it's definitely not geared towards you know, my age and gender, but it's definitely better than some of the current American movies nowadays, I'll tell you that. Pretty well written. Had some good songs in there too. Yeah.
Same storyline minus the singing from the third watch of the Supernatural series. But yeah, the movie and music wasn't that bad. But K-pop has been around for quite some time apparently, starting in the 1950s with the Kim sisters. But it mainly became a distinct genre in the 1990s. With groups like Seotaji and Boys and H.O.T, and in more recent years groups like BTS, iKON and 17, where for anyone that doesn't speak Korean it gives a similar experience to anime openings, where most are reliant on either subtitles or the occasional string of spoken English to understand they're not conforming to a song with the lyrics on the same level as Racing Into the Night, a song that everyone loved even though they don't know what it's about, and it was a trend for a while, even though when accessing the original song now, it's age restricted and comes with a warning. It is a good song though, but as long as these K-pop songs go harder than the German Naruto opening, people won't care either way. If they can understand it or not, as long as it sounds good and edges their auditory cortex till climax, we won't care either way. Anyway, you probably didn't know that if you were alive during the years of 2012 to 2014 and you wasn't in the pre-game lobby at the time. No vote, 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 no vote. Oh, never mind. You were unknowingly being...
It was really golden years. Modern Warfare 2 out on Xbox 360. Those were peak.
exposed to K-pop, like it or hate it, as within those years there was a certain artist and song that blew up to the point where it was pushed to a Western audience that, despite a majority not being able to comprehend the lyrics, was played almost everywhere to the point where playing less than 3 seconds is enough to awaken memories like sleeper agents of when life was somewhat more hospitable. Can you guess what it was? No, it was not anything by Pitbull, but it was Gangnam Style by Psy.
Ah, yes.
I personally enjoyed the Minecraft version by Captain Sparkles as a toddler,
Digging Minecraft style,
which in the last 2 years actually got put back on YouTube. That was 12 years ago, by the way, but since then K-pop is a lot more well known, especially from a Western audience. The characteristics of a K-pop group is usually, they are Korean, and predominantly the majority of their songs is sang in Korean, but there is J-pop, which is like K-pop but Japanese. They also commonly include in their performance.
Max, do you prefer J-pop or K-pop?
Please, I'm more of a lo-fi cat myself.
Oh, okay. He's going against the system. He's not confined to K-pop or J-pop. But if you had to choose between J-pop and K-pop, what would you pick?
If I had to choose, probably J-pop. It's got more of a vibe.
Okay. Write that down. Max is a J-pop fan. All right.
Is a lot of choreography, flawless synchronized dancing that was probably drilled into them through many hours of practice, something else the K-pop industry is known for. On top of having the highest standard for those in K-pop groups, you seemingly have to be perfect in every way, which is one of the big problems, and probably one of the reasons that some K-pop stans are so infatuated with these so-called idols.
Our journey to victory has begun! Death to the MPLA!
So the K-pop industry itself, despite being one of the most expansive and steadily growing forms of entertainment, is one of the most exclusive with the most intense standards for their idols. Such standards for their idols include strict diets to the point where they have less than 10% body fat on their bodies, and if they don't have the genetic stats to support beauty standards, especially in Korea, such as glass-like pale skin, double eye.
But yeah, I don't get why they insist on them being skinny. Like, is that a requirement, or is that just a symptom of stress, constant dancing practice, and like restricted diet? Like, I don't know. Requirement, man. I don't know about that. Well, I mean, if it is a requirement, that's a stupid requirement. I think most guys prefer women with a little meat on their bones. They aren't really. I mean, yeah, I think it just seems healthier, It seems healthier to have a little meat on your bone. A lot of singers go under the knife. Yeah, especially I've heard Korea is like either the top, like one of the top, or the most, or has the most plastic surgery operations on people. Like one of, if not the most. It's crazy. It's like almost like, let's say you get married to her and you have a kid with her, and then the kid looks like that, then you're wondering, wait, is that really my kid? Why does she look like that? You know? So you start to wonder, like, did you cheat on me with someone that looks like that? And yeah. I say natural beauty is supreme.
Certain jaw and lip shapes. If they don't have this quite often or not, some are pressured into getting plastic surgery.
Someone sued their wife because of their kids being ugly? Oh my god. Wow, that is I'm not even sure what to say to that. I don't know if that's, oh man. That seems, I don't think that should be right. I don't think you should sue him. That seems a little wrong. But yeah, it just kind of goes to show problems arise with too much plastic surgery. He won? Oh my god, that's crazy. How much did he win? Was it in China? Oh man. Of course it was in China. Oh man, yeah. Not surprised. I think China's very more man-centric than other first world countries, I think. Or I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Can't remember how much. Yeah, that's wrong. That's sad and wrong. Say no to plastic surgery, people. Unless it's like life-saving or it actually improves your life. Like physically, not looks-wise, but she never said she had done cosmetic operations. She kept it a secret? Okay. Yeah, you definitely shouldn't keep that a secret. Yeah. That's definitely not something you should keep a secret.
Surgery, which is quite normal for K-pop idols, but for some reason it's not as noticeable as plastic surgery done in Western countries, where a lot of people look like that
For
one picture of The
real.
Weeknd, which a lot of people believe that's what he actually looked like now. However, these standards also
Oh my god, they have good plastic surgery. I mean, America, I've seen some of the plastic surgery in America on celebrities. I mean, everyone has seen it. It's always pretty bad. You can always really tell. Like Erin Moriarty, if you've ever seen The Boys, the TV show The Boys, she got plastic surgery done, and everybody could immediately tell. It was so stupid because she was like the last person that needed plastic surgery. So weird.
affect their personal lives as well, or lack thereof, as a lot of these K-pop agencies prevent the idols from getting into personal relationships or just straight up ban them from dating, as they primarily want to maintain the false intimacy between the idols and
Their
their
social
fans.
relationships.
Now that I'm saying that out loud, a lot of these K-pop idols are starting to sound like VTubers. My god. There's even cases of this happening with the idols Hyung-ah and Lee-dawn. Both names I completely butchered, and both are part of the K-pop group Triple H, a trio, where it was eventually found out these two members were in an
That is pretty true. A lot of like Shy Lily, you know, the big female VTubers, there's a lot of men out there that have parasocial relationships with them. Yeah, it is not good. Well, it's not good for them. It's good for the VTubers. Their wallets get big and fat from these parasocial men. They make big bucks. Yeah. Can't blame. I mean, it's the men's fault. They're the ones that are they willingly donate. So that's your own fault. Yeah.
intimate relationship for 2 years, which was found out by them publicly showing signs they were in a relationship and confirming
honest,
it
I
in
would've done the
interviews.
same.
When this reached the public eye, Cube Entertainment, the ones managing them, fired both of them and cited a breach of trust and faith, and that it was a mutual agreement between them and the company for them to leave, which later turned out to be false, as Hyung later claimed to not be informed before the announcement of them leaving. But to my surprise, yes, I was in the wrong for assuming the worst from K-pop stans, but fans did not like this decision, with the common consensus being they thought this was punishment for the public disclosure of their relationship. But if you thought your agency possibly firing you due to actually having a personal life was a problem, some don't let you have a personal life at all, due to how much you'll be working and training for performances and videos. This is very normal in the K-pop industry, and it's infamously known for overworking their idols, which is also a normal thing in South Korea, with it being one of the top countries that overworks its citizens. Now obviously the K-pop industry isn't immune from this, with that overwork, which is also
China?
a normal thing in South Korea, with it being one of the top countries that...
Turkey? Turkey? I would have never expected that. Turkey is where the most workers put in 60. That's crazy. Why is Turkey? Why Turkey? You never hear about Turkey. That's crazy. Indonesia, India, Greece, Japan. Oh, hold up.
Which is also a normal thing in South Korea, with it being one...
All right, here we go. Okay, Turkey, South Korea, Indonesia, India, Greece, Japan, China, United Kingdom, France, Brazil, Russia, Spain. United States at 3.8%. Wow. Okay.
One of the top countries that overworks its citizens. Now obviously the K-pop industry isn't immune from this, with 14 to 16 hour working days, sometimes with no sick
I honestly would have thought that Japan would have been higher up on that.
leave or holidays, and predatory contracts, where some last decades with potentially no clause if they want to leave said contract, which was such a problem it was later changed where those contracts are now capped at 7 years. Obviously this heavily depends on which agency these idols are scouted for or choose to go with. Some are a lot more caring towards their talent, and some have so many idols they are like a K-pop idol factory, and view a significant amount like cannon fodder, like they have the same value as an Imperial Guard on the front lines. And this includes many of the top agencies like SM Entertainment, YG Entertainment, and JYP Entertainment, with SM Entertainment previously being warned for their slave contracts, where these contracts lasted from 10 to 13 years before the change, and some never saw a day off in those years, with a popular example being Han Geng, who allegedly worked 2 years without seeing a single day off, and they also took a share of his money as well for things like housing, feeding, and training. And it's not unheard of for them to enforce fines on these idols, say if they were to take a day off.
He was forced to do things that were not in his contract. He was forced to do things against his will. He was fined if he disobeyed the company or missed any events or was late. That is insane. That is... Oh my God, like... Yeah, that's a slave contract. That's a slave contract. A word. Why does somebody agree to these contracts? Like that you sign it, you read it and you sign it, right? Happens more often than you think. Yeah. Sounds like it. But like, man, is the fame really that worth it? I guess. I don't know. Would I do the same? Maybe.
Off if they were actually sick, and with the housing, in some cases they are forced to live in them with the other members of their group, away from their families, so they can make sure they are sticking to their schedule they set. And there are reports of abuse by management as well. Once again, this isn't every idol agency. Hybe, formerly known as Big Hit Entertainment, who oversees groups like BTS, and are known for their benefits such as allowing freedom to their artists when it comes to producing songs and pitching ideas, and even sharing profits with their idols, and additional benefits like mental health support. But not only do you have to be cautious about the agency you join, you also have to be cautious about the fans you cultivate.
Ooh, thank Thank you, BTS, for curing my HIV, cancer, blind, my big sad, and the gaping hole in my chest. A Shinigami cursed upon me.
So one thing I find unique about K-pop is how
What?
influential the fans can be, especially when influencing decisions made by labels or agencies. In my personal opinion, it seems like many of these groups kind of bend to the will of their fans. Whilst most celebrities in Western countries just straight up tell their fans to fuck off, and they seem more in control of what they can say and do.
One last thing. If you have any drugs or any alcohol, give me some.
And to be honest, from hearing the many horror stories, K-pop fans scare me more than any other fan of any franchise or genre, and that's even including Hazbin Hotel and even fucking Loud House. The one thing that stuck in the back of my mind and pushed me towards making this video was the interaction between K-pop fans and Too Mad, which I think was like 4 to 6 years ago, where he made a joke at the expense of BTS fans purposely to bait them, and he received death threats and I think even a cease and desist letter to his house, mass tweets and dislike bombs on his videos, which only worked in his favour, because once again, that was his goal and it didn't stop him. He made multiple videos on them after all of this happening, but this is relatively frequent behaviour for most die-hard K-pop fans, as you can quickly find yourself walking on eggshells, especially if you have a platform, and mention or remotely criticize a specific K-pop group or K-pop in general.
Who do you think is worse? Taylor Swift fans or K-pop stans? I think that's a tough choice. What do you think, Max? Who do you think is worse? Taylor Swift fans or K-pop fans? I bet.
Ooh, tough call, but I'd say Swift fans are slightly more unhinged.
Ah, yes, Swifties. Swifties is what they call them in America. Oh man, for real. The sad thing is I sort of like indirectly support them because my favorite football team is Kansas City Chiefs. And Travis Kelce, our tight end, is dating Taylor Swift. And I support Travis Kelce, and Travis Kelce supports Taylor Swift, and Taylor Swift likes your fans. So indirectly, I guess I'm somewhat supporting Swifties. Leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Makes it difficult to sleep at night. She does have some pretty fire songs, though. I won't lie. I won't lie. She's got some pretty good songs. Yeah. Swift fans, there's some crazy videos out there where it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's just mental illness.
But it doesn't just stop at their online presence. There was a case of a fan stealing a cardboard cutout.
They act like Taylor Swift saved their family from a burning fire. Don't worry, it won't be long until there will be a new song about a break. Honestly, I kind of don't want that for Travis. They seem pretty good together. I like Travis. You know, I hope that maybe this is good. Maybe Travis will be the one. Who knows?
Out of a K-pop idol, which people from the UK are probably going to resort to very soon, especially with the new anti-gooning law. No mannequin is going to be safe from a fresh coat of semen, or that one ad I see on Instagram Reels with a kangaroo, and people in the comments can't help but express their
What? I'm gonna clart that roo. I knew it comes to be, and I still. Oh my word! Yeah, this censorship, it's not gonna stop the horniness. It's just gonna change the horniness to things that shouldn't make you horny. It's a terrible idea. Terrible idea.
Tensions with it. There was a story with a K-pop idol called Jai Jung that had a stalker break into their house and lay over him and kiss him whilst he was asleep. And you also have these stampedes that are created from some fans jumping barriers and security to then chase down their favourite idols just to simply have some form of contact with these idols they love so much. There are many other stories like this.
You think they practice running away from their fans? Maybe that's part of their training. They put them on a little obstacle course. Run away from the fans, or we'll tase you.
A lot worse than the ones I mentioned. But obviously not all K-pop fans are like this. I would know, because I have a confession to make. I'll be completely honest with you. I've been playing War Thunder despite how much I shit on it in the past, and since being forced to play it on stream, I haven't stopped. I've added more than 50 hours on my record since, and I wasn't wrong about it. I did have to swipe my debit card at one point just to progress, and learning the parts of tanks to hit was like learning where your own G-spot is. Oh, and I used to listen to BTS. Now wait, before my reputation is significantly affected, I admitted to this on stream before, this was a very long time ago during high school, and was primarily due to an ulterior motive. Rap Monster was my favourite at the time, and I only listened to 2 of their songs, which I think are still in my Spotify playlist to this day, which was DNA and Mic Drop. Didn't know any of the members' lore compared to the other fans that know the circumference of each one's ballsack. I never went to any of their concerts, so you really can't call me a fan or a member of the BTS army, which is what they call their fans. Probably more of an avid listener, but their music is pretty good from what I remember. But I had to be honest and admit to my sins. But their music is...
That music video was actually pretty interesting, because I think it was because all the crazy colors. It's like the cocoa melon with the highly saturated colors. You can't tear your eyes away from it. I probably lost a brain cell each time I watched that. But it was pretty cool. I mean, honestly, it was pretty cool. I'm not a K-pop fan. I just like a few songs. That's all.
Pretty good from what I remember, but I had to be honest and admit to my sins. But at least in my opinion, the main reason people hate K-pop and stans is primarily down to some of the actions of the fans that have created a stigma around the genre, and comes less from the music itself. Specifically fans that take it too far or have an extreme parasocial relationship with some of these idols, and will run 24/7 protection online for them or their favourite K-pop group. But whilst they protect their favourite idols, they also have the capacity to do the complete opposite. As said before, for some reason K-pop fans have an obscene level of influence, especially in groups. A good example is what happened with the case of Young Han, completely butchered that name, who had a picture of him kissing a woman before he was fully an idol and a trainee of sorts, leaked to his fans when he was an idol at the time, and the fans did not in fact like this despite the picture being from some time ago. He received a lot of backlash for this, from some fans saying how disappointed they were in him, to some creating their own memorials with funeral wreaths. And due to this, he would take a hiatus from the group and post an apology. Some fans created a petition to get him back in, which got 300,000 signatures, but upon trying to return, the backlash also returned. And just 2 days later, SM Entertainment reversed this decision, and he was no longer in the group, and even he thought...
This is unreal. Oh my word. This was before he joined it. It's like... They don't even think they're human. I don't think they understand that these people are human. I think they pictured them as some sort of gods that are meant to be eternal virgins. They literally worship these people. They literally worship these people. That is unhealthy. You're screwed if the fans find out they are in a relationship. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, they'll be screaming for your head if they find that out. Man. Making memorial wreaths, like acting like he's dead. That's crazy.
Thought this was a good decision due to the amount of harassment he was receiving and his other band members over something he did before he was even an official idol, and was just simply contact with a woman. After this, he would put his career on pause for a while before debuting on his own. But this is just an example of many that shows how much power these K-pop fans have, but they also have the power to do good as well. Sort of. Like what happened with Stray Kids in 2021. Whilst there was no public statement or evidence at the time, fans thought that the K-pop group were being overworked and started criticizing evidence at the time. Fans thought...
Is that really a dude? He looks so much like a girl. Tell me that does not look like a girl. Deep ass voice too, really? Oh man. Plastic surgery, no doubt. I bet every single Felix. That's a pretty cool name. But I bet you every single one of these guys have had some sort of plastic surgery, I'm sure. I'm sure.
That the K-pop group were being overworked and started criticizing the long schedules, lack of rest periods, and lack of updates for the group, and they pushed for better conditions for them, which ended with one of the members saying they're fine and they're working on their own volition. Also, you've had groups like the aforementioned BTS Army.
I think that guy's natural. Actually. I think so. Yep.
Who raise millions in the name of the group for charities like UNICEF's Love Myself
maybe not
campaign.
all of them.
But fans have done some good and bad. But once again, it honestly amazes me how much influence these fans have in the first place. Backstreet Boys is still the best boy band in the world. I don't care what K-pop group exists.
Backstreet
So
Boys.
K-pop stans and their reputation is somewhat of a mixed bag. Definitely from the outside online they have a negative reputation due to some events and the more extreme fans who are just a bit parasocial. And the K-pop industry itself doesn't have the best reputation over the years, and in some cases directly supports these types of relationships these fans have with these idols, sometimes even preventing them from having or discussing relationships and their own personal lives. I think K-pop is a genre of music that has some negative stigma around it, primarily due to the reputation of the fans, more than the music itself. But I think if you give it a chance and find a group you like, it's not that bad. But yeah, that's all I had to say, and bye-bye.
Welcome back to the Papa.
Well, honestly, didn't learn anything I didn't know. All it told me is that K-pop fans are crazy, and I already knew that. Hey, you! Yeah, you! Why don't you sub to my channel already? If you made it this far into the video, you want to sub, right? Yeah! Yeah, of course you want to sub. Also, you want to follow me on Twitch, right? Yeah, click the link in the description. You can follow me on Twitch there. Come on, I know you want to. Come on, yeah, you do, yeah, there you go, yeah, click, yeah, yes, oh yeah, thank you.